am Charlie Matthews, and welcome back to another episode of Charlie Reviews, where I, obviously, review games. And have you ever wanted to have psychic abilities? Have an epic journey through the astral plane? Maybe be part of a noble team? Travel through the human mind? Well, you can do just that in Psychonauts, and with the recent release of its anticipated sequel, I thought it would be the perfect time to do a review on it. So guys, strap in, get your goggles on, and let's dive in to Psychonauts. Story. Psychonauts starts with Coach Oleander, the leader of the Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp, which is a place that kids go to become a psychonaut, a member of a secret organization of heroes who save the day with their psychic powers, talking about the human mind to other campers and how much of a special asset it is. Until a mysterious boy sneaks in and scares the campers, to then be picked up by agents Mia Vodello and Sasha 9, to then reveal himself as Raz, a psychic boy that has always dreamed of being a psychonaut. Problem is, his family, who lives in the circus, hates psychics because one of them cursed them all to die in water. This caused Raz to run away from his circus family to try and fulfill his lifelong dream of becoming a psychonaut. Anyway, after Raz introduces himself, he catches the eye of Lily Zanato, daughter of Truman Zanato, the founder of the Psychonauts. Raz, excited to soon become a psychonaut, soon realizes that his dad will be picking him up in 3 days, giving him short time to become an agent. He also befriends a boy named Dogan, who talks about making people's heads explode, which is something I think everyone at Whispering Rock should be concerned about. Anyway, after a long night's sleep, Raz gets to do his first piece of basic braining in Coach Oleander's obstacle course. So, Raz learns how to double jump, how to collect figments, how to sort emotional baggage, and soon completes the obstacle course, also using his acrobatic abilities from his life in the circus. Raz is congratulated for beating the obstacle course with the basic braining badge. So, after exiting Coach Oleander's mind, Raz encounters Sasha 9, who tells him to meet him at the Psycho-Isolation Chamber in the forest, also giving Raz a button to unlock the passage there. Raz gets to the Psycho-Isolation Chamber and enters. Sasha 9 then asks Raz to get into the Brain Tumbler, transporting Raz to the collective unconscious, where all of the brains of psychics are collected. Sasha 9 then asks Raz to investigate his own mind, which Raz does, but is then stopped by a scary monster. Sasha then tells Raz to go see Ford Cruller so he can give him a marksmanship permit so Sasha can teach Raz how to use it. So, Raz meets Ford Cruller in his underground lair and gets a marksmanship permit and gives it to Sasha, who then transports Raz to his mind. Raz then learns about sensors, things in people's minds that stamp out things that don't belong, including Raz. After Raz learns how to use the marksmanship ability and is left alone to practice killing sensors, he eventually gets bored and messes with the sensor machine, releasing them all. Raz then has to destroy all of them, one by one, until the boss sensor comes in, chasing Raz and Sasha. The giant sensor captures Sasha, but luckily Raz kills it using marksmanship. After that's sorted, Raz earns his marksmanship badge from Sasha 9 and then goes back to his own mind to get rid of the scary monster from before. After that, Raz sees Dogan trapped inside a giant tower with Dr. Loboto, an evil man who is taking the campers' brains and dumping them in a garbage chute. Raz is then taken out of his mind and is told he needs to go to Mia Vodello and learn levitation if he wants to save Dogan. Sasha then gives Raz a levitation permit and Raz gets on its way to meet Mia at the docks. On the way out, Raz encounters Lily picking flowers, who then gets embarrassed and walks away. Anyway, Raz gets to Mia and is then transported into her mind. Soon enough, Raz learns levitation and soon beats Mia's levitation party, getting the levitation badge. Lily then tells Raz that she's been getting weird nightmares about a doctor, the same mad doctor as Dr. Loboto. Raz realizes this and tells her that he's seen him stealing Dogen's brain. Lily then tells Raz to meet her at the docks at night to investigate. Raz goes back to Sasha 9 so he can go back into the brain tumbler. Raz returns and sneaks into the strange tower using levitation. After that, Raz notices Lily is now in the tower, with Dr. Loboto inspecting her. Luckily, it doesn't seem like Lily is budging at the moment, so Dr. Loboto can't take her brain. Raz then goes down the garbage chute and sees Dogen's brain. Raz goes to rescue it, but sadly fails because a mechanical arm grabs it first. The mechanical arm then puts Dogen's brain in a psychic death tank that tries to kill Raz, but luckily Raz kills it first. After that, Raz realizes that Coach Oleander was behind all of it the whole time, hiring Dr. Loboto to steal all the campers' brains and power up his armored death tanks to take over the world. Raz is then taken out of his mind and Sasha leaves in an urgent hurry, saying that he has to attend to official Psychonauts business. Raz then notices that Sasha left his Psycho Portal, a door that Psychonauts use to get inside people's minds. Raz takes it with him to use, just in case. Later in the night, Raz goes to meet up with Lily and tells her about Coach Oleander's plan, until she is captured by a mysterious lungfish. Raz makes his way to the lungfish's lair and manages to find it. After a quick boss fight, the lungfish gets knocked out, and soon Raz realizes that it was mutated and broken by Dr. Loboto and Coach Oleander to do their bidding. Raz, feeling sorry, goes into the lungfish's mind to maybe try and sort things out. Raz finds himself in Lungfishopolis, a town full of, lungfish, under the control of a signal tower and influence of this person called Kochamara. The signal tower part kinda sounds familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Anyway, Raz meets the rebellion in Lungfishopolis, who want to free the people from Kochamara's evil influence. Raz helps the rebellion members until he finally gets to the signal tower, where he has to fight Kochamara, but he quickly realizes that Coach Oleander seems to be in that superhero suit. Anyway, Raz quickly beats Kochamara and then shuts down the signal tower, freeing the people of Lungfishopolis. Looks like someone actually stopped the loop. Oh, sorry, wrong game. So, Raz gets taken out of the lungfish's mind, and it thanks Raz for freeing its mind from control. The lungfish then takes Raz to a weird, seemingly abandoned island and gives him a calling horn if he ever wanted to go back to Whispering Rock. Anyway, Raz finds a giant tower that looks very similar to the one in his mind, that is blocked off by a locked gate. Raz, assuming that it might be useful to get to, asks the security guard if he could get in. The security guard doesn't really answer Raz's question though, so like what any Psychonaut would do, Raz hops into his mind. When Raz gets into his mind, he finds out that this security guard is very paranoid about someone called the Milkman. Raz is then asked to open the fridge and gets an ability called Clairvoyance, which lets him see into the perspective of others. After Raz tries it out, the security guard tells him to find the Milkman's grave. So with that, Raz leaves the security guard's house to find a warping town? Look, I know this is just a mental world, but geez, this is just weird. Anyway, after avoiding some weird G-men, Raz finds the Milkman's grave and gets a book? Yeah, not something you would usually find at the graveyard, but okay. Anyway, then the security guard tells Raz to go to the book depository, and when he gets there, he is held at gunpoint by a cookie scout? Man, This level keeps getting weirder and weirder. And then the Cookie Scout is caught and blows herself up. Okay. Anyway, after going to the book depository, Raz uses clairvoyance on a nearby helicopter and sees the milkman being kept in a basement of an anonymously hidden house. Raz makes his way over there to see that the people hiding the milkman are the Cookie Scouts? What? What? So basically the Cookie Scouts have been hiding the milkman's secret objective, and now that they've been found out, they must kill Raz. So after another quick boss fight, the Cookie Scouts are defeated, and we have finally freed the milkman. And here is where he says the iconic line.
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
So after we have freed the milkman, he starts throwing Molotov milk and blowing things up. Okay. After, well, whatever that was, the security guard throws his name tag away and now calls himself the Milkman, unlocking the gates, seemingly showing that the big tower is actually an abandoned insane asylum that he used to be in. And now he is here to burn it down and whitewash what went on there. So, now with the asylum opened, Raz explores and finds an old woman in a mysterious garden, seemingly putting on a play for her plants. Well, this is an insane asylum. Raz talks to her to see that she has really bad mood swings. This can link to bipolar disorder that is very much explained in the level. So, Raz hops into her mind to try and sort things out, and when he gets there, it's a stage show. Well, makes sense considering. Raz soon finds out that Gloria, the woman whose mind we're in, has a light, her muse if you will, and that muse has locked herself in her room and is very upset. Raz finds her and then realises that it's a man? Okay, well, anyway, the muse tells Raz that I'm just gonna say he will not go on stage unless Raz lights a candle on the stage light for him. So, obviously, Raz does that, and then Gloria's muse goes on stage, but then is quickly downhearted by the critic, who scolds her after a mysterious Phantom of the Opera ruins her show. Raz then has to go on a quest to stop the Phantom, and after switching some plays and shows, Raz finally gets on the catwalks and finds the Phantom, who runs away and then is seen to be the critic? Who could have known? Literally everyone. Anyway, after, again, another quick boss fight, the critic is stopped and Gloria's muse can finally shine again. So with that, Raz hops out of Gloria's mind and she can finally control her mood swings. And she even thanks Raz for what he's done by giving him a trophy. So with that one done, Raz now moves on to the lower floors of the asylum, where Fred Bonaparte, Edgar and Chief Orderly inhabit. And sadly, Chief Orderly won't let you take an elevator up to the lab of the asylum unless you look like Dr. Loboto. So it looks like Raz is gonna have to do the other mines first. So, firstly, Raz finds Fred Bonaparte, who seems to suffer from split personality disorder, and it looks like Raz is gonna have to sort it out. So, once Raz hops inside of Fred Bonaparte's mind, he finds him playing a game of Waterloo World with a mental version of the original Bonaparte, and it seems like Raz is going to have to help Fred win to fix things. So, Raz jumps in and gets to work. So after hiring some troops to build Fred's army, a carpenter, a knight to enter the stronghold, and snails, Raz finally wins the game of Waterloo World. So, with another one ticked off down on the Loboto checklist, there is only one more left. Edgar, who seems to have a big problem with art. Anyway, Raz enters his mind and finds out that Edgar needs to get cards to get to his lost love. Raz, going to help out, beats all the bosses, earns a new confusion ability, and gets all the queens for Edgar, only to find that his long-lost love isn't really there for him. In fact, she's afraid of him, and now Edgar's turned into a bull. So, with that, Raz beats Edgar the bull, and then finds that Edgar's not girlfriend calls in her boyfriend to kill him. Jeez, do you hate him that much? Anyway, after a quick fight to stop that maniac from killing Edgar, it is done. And finally, Edgar can forget about his grudge. So, now with a full Loboto costume, Raz goes back down to Chief Orderly in an okay disguise. Well, at least enough for Orderly, because then Raz goes up the elevator and makes his way to the lab, where Dr. Loboto has kidnapped Lily and taken Sasha and Mia's brains. There is also Loboto's assistant, Shigor, who has a little pet turtle named Mr. Pokelope. But sadly, he has been captured by Dr. Loboto, because Shigor keeps bringing in bad brains. So, after rescuing Mr. Pokelope for Shigor and getting Dr. Loboto out the way, Raz finally gets Sasha and Mia their brains back. Then, after that's done, Raz also frees Lily, who luckily didn't have her brains stolen. So, after everything seems resolved, Coach Oleander shows up and gets into a fight with Sasha and Mia. Raz and Lily are put outside, and then the security guard blows up the asylum, leaving nothing but ruins. Luckily though, Sasha and Mia took care of things and Coach Oleander is brainless. Until a giant battle tank with his brain in it starts attacking Raz to try and get his brain. After Raz has hit the tank's defences enough though, he can finally get rid of it. Again, until Raz is hit with sneezing powder, making him sneeze out his brain. After that though, it seems the only solution is to merge with Coach Oleander's brain to try and sort things out. So, after Raz's brain merges with Coach Oleander's, he wakes up in a familiar but unfamiliar place at the same time. Raz then meets little Ollie, who says that he has to help him protect the little bunnies from his dad, who will kill them if he finds them. After protecting the bunnies from being killed, Raz encounters the Butcher, Ollie's dad, who tries to kill Raz, but luckily Raz stops him, but is then flung into another area, and this time it's Raz's dad who he has to beat, by doing an obstacle course that fully tests his acrobatic abilities. After that's done, Raz is transported back to the Butcher's room, where now he sees his dad talking to the Butcher. This leads into another boss fight, where instead of just the Butcher trying to kill Raz, his dad has also joined in. Obviously though, Raz beats them both, and then Raz's actual dad comes in. Raz's dad tells him that he never really hated psychics, he just wanted to keep Raz safe. In fact, Raz's dad is psychic as well. He used his powers to find him and get into his mind. Raz, realizing this, forgives his dad, and then a giant morphed version of both of the dads comes in. And in one final epic boss fight, Raz's dad gives him all the psychic power he's got, and Raz finally takes down the two morphed dads, and Raz and his dad both escape. They both end up at the Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp, where Coach Oleander apologizes for all the bad things he did, and thanks Raz for working things out in his brain. Also, for Raz's hard work on being a psychic and saving Whispering Rock, he is finally rewarded with a full-on Psychonauts badge, meaning that he has accomplished his dream of being a Psychonaut. And with that, Psychonauts is finished. Or so we thought, because soon enough Raz is told by Mia and Sasha that the grand head of the Psychonauts, Truman Zanato, has been kidnapped, and that they need to rescue him. So with that, Raz says goodbye to his dad, and he hops into the jet with the other Psychonauts, bringing the extremely long story to an end. Gameplay. Okay guys, I am literally not joking, I just checked, and that story part takes up 14 pages on the script. Jesus Christ. Anyway guys, In Psychonauts, you get 8 psychic abilities as you progress through the game. These psychic abilities are Marksmanship, which shoots out an awesome psychic beam to damage enemies, Levitation, which summons a psychic ball of thought for Raz to use to get to higher areas and sometimes even ambush enemies, Telekinesis, which lets Raz pick things up and throw them with a giant psychic hand, Pyrokinesis, which lets Raz burn stuff, Invisibility, which lets Raz turn invisible for a short amount of time, Shield, which lets Raz block attacks for a short amount of time, Confusion, which confuses enemies around Raz, and finally, Clairvoyance, which lets Raz see through other people's perspectives. I did feel that some of these abilities did kind of feel awkward at times though. For example, sometimes telekinesis just chose not to work for me, and just kind of threw wherever it wanted. Other than that, these abilities are usually required to be used in certain situations in the game, which I think is really cool. They can also be used in the hub world, the Whispering Rock Psychic Summer Camp, where there is a lot to do, and I mean a lot to do. There's a camp store where you can buy things to customize your powers or buy things that can help you in the mental worlds. There's arrowheads scattered around, which is basically the currency in the Psychonauts world for you to collect. And there's also psi cards, which help you rank up and get to new levels to unlock more psychic abilities. Just go to Ford Crawler's Sanctuary, and as long as you have got a psi core and 9 psi cards, you can level up. Oh, also about leveling up, there are a lot of collectibles in Psychonauts that are scattered around people's minds. These are emotional baggage, things that can only be sorted out if Raz can find baggage tags that match the bag and bring it back to it. Then there's figments, which are literally everywhere in the mental worlds, but if Raz collects enough of them, he can rank up quite a lot. There's also mental cobwebs, which Raz can only collect if he buys a cobweb duster from the camp store, which is actually required starting from the Milkman conspiracy. And finally, there is memory vaults, which are locked vaults that can be opened when Raz hits it, and they can reveal very important lore in the Psychonauts universe and give interesting backstories to the characters that we're trying to help. There is also the campus brains, which are scattered around the insane asylum. If Raz collects these, he can go back to Ford Crawler and restore campus brains to get some more health. Oh yeah, about health. You will die quite a lot in Psychonauts, and when you do, you lose a bit of astral projection in the mind. And if you lose them all, you're fully kicked out of that person's mind. Luckily though, you can restore astral projection by finding astral trophies around the map. Features. With it nearing close to the verdict, let's talk about Psychonauts' features. Now, the music in Psychonauts is pretty cool. They are really atmospheric and I think really fit the moment and environments in the game. For example, listen to this one and try to tell me that it doesn't fit Whispering Rock at night. Come on, you know it fits. Now on to the graphics. The graphics in this game obviously aren't good compared to the time we're in now, but looking back then, it was probably the bee's knees. There are some weird lighting problems on the PS4 version though, which is the one I'm playing on, and there are some frame rate slows there and there, but other than that, it's okay. From what I have seen though, the PC and Xbox versions are the OP and definitive way to go. And now I know what you're saying to me, Charles, why didn't you buy it on your Xbox One then? Well, because the Rhombus of Ruin, the VR spin-off for Psychonauts, is only on PS4, and I just like my game series is in one place. But if you don't have a problem with game series being scattered on different consoles of yours, or you just don't own a VR, then the Xbox and PC versions are the definitive way to go. So guys, here we are, finally, with the verdict. Now I'm going to keep this one short because let's admit it, this episode is long enough already. But anyway guys, Psychonauts is a weird, imaginative and funny game, and I think one of the most unique 3D platformers I have ever played. But anyway guys, I rate Psychonauts a whopping 8 out of 10, with 2 points being taken off because of the PS4 version having some really weird lighting issues, and me feeling that some of the gameplay did feel a bit janky at times, and some of the psychic abilities did feel a bit janky and just a bit really awkward to control. But anyway guys, I have rated Psychonauts an 8 out of 10. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this new episode from me on Charlie Reviews. Also remember guys that next month is October, which is, as we all know, spooky month. So expect a Halloween episode next month on Bendy and the Ink Machine, which is one of my favoritist horror games of all time, so I had to review it eventually, and I thought that Halloween would be the perfect time to review this beautiful horror game. But anyway guys, if you enjoyed this new episode, don't forget to subscribe to Charlie Matthew's channel for next month's Halloween special, and just more episodes of Charlie Reviews or other content that I make. But anyway guys, just remember that I am Charlie Matthews, peacing out. Bye!